back to our Laravel programming series. In today's episode, we are going to set up user authentication, including login and registration, using the Laravel UI package. This is a crucial feature for any web application. Laravel makes it super easy. So let's get started. Now, to do that, first of all, you must launch your project in any of these text editors. For me, I am using VS Code. That's the Visual Studio Code. It depends on your preference. Now, first things first, we are going to install the Laravel UI package. So the first thing that we are going to do is to open our terminal. Now, before we install or we run our command to install our Laravel UI package, I wanted us to look at something first. So you'll see that in our previous video, we created a fresh project, which is this one that you are looking at over here. So when we come to our app and open our controllers, you can see that we only have one file over here, which is controller.php. The same way, when we come to resources, you can see that we only have one file over here. Then when we come to our database directory and we open the migrations, you can see that we have users. As you can see, we have create password. Let's save our project. And to do that, we type php artisan save. After the server is running, you hit Control on your keyboard and click on the link. Or you copy the link and open a new tab and paste the link over. This displays the welcome page of Laravel. So this is the welcome page of our project. Now, if you are confused as to how we were able to do this, then please, the link to our previous video is in the description. This is a build-up of what we learned earlier. Then the next thing that we are supposed to do is to now install our Laravel UI package. To do that, first of all, we need to open our browser and navigate to packages.org. Now, packages is the main composer repository, which aggregates public PHP packages installable with what? Composer. So all your composer dependencies that you will be installing, okay, majority of them can be found on this website. So since we wanted to install Laravel UI, in the search box over here, we are only going to type Laravel UI. Then you can see that it has been brought up in the search aggregate for us. Now, when you come to the right side, you can see that it has already received 86 million downloads. So let's just click on the Laravel UI. Then you copy this particular command. Come back to your terminal. Then you paste the code. Then you hit enter. It is going to add the Laravel UI package to our project. Now, once this is done, we can now generate the authentication scaffolding. Laravel UI offers different options for front-end scaffolding, but for this project, we'll be using Vue.js. So to generate the authentication scaffolding, we are going to run this particular code. So you scroll to the bottom over here, then under once Laravel package has been installed, you may install the front-end scaffolding using the UI artisan command. We come down here and pick PHP artisan UI view -- auth. Copy this particular command, come back to your terminal, paste it and hit enter. So this command will generate the necessary views, routes, controllers, and more for our user authentication. So now you can see that authentication scaffolding generated successfully. View scaffolding generated successfully. So right now, when we come to our app and we open our controllers, you can see that we now have our auth directory over here. The first thing for us to do is to run npm install. So type npm install in the terminal. After running npm install, then you now run npm run dev. So right now, when we come to our welcome page and we reload, you can see that we now have login and register. So when I click on login, it now displays a login interface or screen for me. So this is the login interface. So you can see that we have email address, password, remember me, and login. And also we have forgot password over here. Then at the nav bar, you can see that we have Laravel written over here. So when you click on Laravel, it takes us back to the welcome screen. Then we also have login at the top right corner and register beside it. So you can see that when I click on register, it opens the registration page for me. Now before we do anything else, we have to migrate our database so that all the tables inside this migration folder will now be migrated to the database so that we can now be able to register a user, and also a user will be able to log in. So for us to do that, we open a new terminal, then we type the command php artisan migrate. Now this is going to create the users table in our database. So let's just run php artisan migrate. When we run this command, it is going to migrate our database. So all this table, that is the users table, password reset table, page jobs table, and create personal access tokens table, have now been migrated. So right now, when we come to our Laravel tools database, you can see that over here is empty. But when we reload or we refresh the page, we can now see we have our 5 tables over here. So now our migration has been done successfully. So now we can be able to register a new user. So what we are going to do is, let me say Donatus, then the email address anchordonatus@gmail.com, password test 1234, then confirm password test 1234. So when you click on register, it is telling me that the password confirmation does not match. So let me rewrite it again, test 1234, then test 1234, then I click on register. So you can see that it has registered me successfully and I have logged in. So right now when I come to the database and I click on the users table, you can see that we now have one entry over here with the name Donatus, email anchordonatus@gmail.com, and also this is the password. Now the password has been hashed, so you will not be able to see it over here. And you can see the time that it was created. It was created 14:32:32 seconds. So this is how the registration feature works. So for us to test it and be sure I'll be able to log in successfully, let me log out and re-log in. So the email was anchordonatus@gmail.com, anchordonatus@gmail.com. The password is test1234. Then you can see that our login is successful. So let's now re-register a new user and see if it will still work. So let me go to Johnson, then Johnson at e.com. That's the email, and the password Johnson1234. Johnson1234. Then I click on register. So you can see that Johnson has been registered successfully. So right now, when I come to the users table and I just click on browse, you can see that we now have 2 entries over here. So our login and registration has been created successfully. Now let's go back to our code. So when we come to our auth directory under the views, you can see that this is our login blade. Okay, so this is our login blade. So if you want to customize how your login over here, how the login interface looks like, this is where you are going to restructure it. So this is where you are going to customize your login screen. So let's say this forgot password or this login, I wanted to change it to log me in. I'll just type log me in. So when I come here and I reload, it's supposed to display the button log me in, as you can see over here. Then this is our register blade file. So if you want to customize this particular file, this is where you are going to do that. Don't worry, we are going to cover all of this in our next episode, whereby we are going to restructure our login interface, and also we are going to use Bootstrap, okay, a third-party admin template, which we'll be using in this particular project, whereby we'll be building everything step by step. So now let's come back to one particular feature that I wanted us to look at, which is the web.php. So this contains our route. So you can see that we are saying that anytime somebody or anytime a user inputs this particular link, it should display the welcome page. But we don't want this welcome page anymore. We want the login page to be the first page. Anytime a user clicks on this particular link, it should display. So what we are going to do is we come to the web.php, then the return view that we have over here, we will just change it to auth.login. We are saying that it should return the view auth, which is the directory, then it should find the file login.blade.php. So that is why we have auth.login. So right now, when I reload this particular page, it is going to display the login page for us. The same way, if I click on this, it's still going to display the same login interface for us. So another thing I wanted us to look at is this particular middleware. So you can see that we are saying that until the user is logged in, the user will not be able to access this particular file. So let's try it and see. So let me log in Anchor Donatus at gmail.com. Then I'll type test 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I have logged in and I've been able to navigate to the dashboard because my authentication is successful. So now let's try something. Let us comment this and see what happens. So I can log out, I can navigate back, and you can see that I am still over here. I'm still at the home page, the dashboard. It is because I have commented the middleware. Okay, this is authentication middleware, which is saying that until you log in, you cannot access this particular page. So now let's try something. Let me uncomment it and reload the page for us to see what happens. So when I reload, you can see that it has sent me back to the login page. So when we talk of middleware, okay, this particular one, this is what we call authentication middleware. It makes sure that you are logged in before you can access certain places or before you can access even certain routes. And that's it. We've successfully set up login and registration using the Laravel UI package. We've also covered how to customize the views and protect routes with authentication middleware. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below with any questions or suggestions for future episodes. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.